How's it going, everybody? It's Chris the Old Crow back again, doing another tactical perspective on this Wednesday, September the 11th. That day, guys. Horrible memories for all of us, I'm sure. Those of you that weren't alive or around at that time, that was a game changer of a day. And every day I think of it, around this time, I think about how much the world changed as a result of that, and how much my own life changed as a result of this day. But, I don't like to tackle that stuff with sadness and woe is me ruminescence. I like to tackle that stuff as where am I now? And now I'm a toy reviewer as opposed to a soldier who fought out of Afghanistan and the things that came of 9/11. And a toy reviewer needs a toy to review, and I have one for us today. Today on the Tactical Perspective, we are going to go into the Night Force line and review number 127 of the G.I. Joe Classified line, Night Force Shockwave, Jason Ferreira, another attempt at Shockwave, and of course the Ram cycle and all the goodies that come with that. Initially, a lot of people may have been put off by this release because, yet again, we were getting a Ram cycle. And we had just had a Ram cycle show up for Tiger Force, and we had one for our regulars, and people were wondering, I'm sure, why do we keep going back to this? And there were flaws with the Ram cycle that I personally saw resolved on this variant, okay? So I'm going to go take some photos today, give you guys a little breakdown of what's included in this set of the 127 Night Force Jason Ferreira. It's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive and Walmart exclusive. If you want to order it, I think they're more than available still. And we'll talk about what was the big improvement on this Ram that made it stand above all others, and did this Shockwave impress? All right, so stay tuned and we'll get into it. All right, so having a look at this Night Pursuit cycle, which I keep calling Ram. It is the Ram chassis. It's got a better paint job, this darker gray. New decal work denotes the new unit of Night Force, which it should. It's got that black tint. There's a lot of dark tones at play, and not a single lick of red on the bike itself that I can think of off the top of my head, which is unexpected for a Night Force vehicle. I thought it would be there, but instead of red, we get gold. We get a lot of gold or brass kind of feel on this one. Very eye-catching and appealing. Oh, okay, the brake light's red. But overall, it's a different look for the Ram entirely, and I appreciated this one more than the Tiger Force one for sure. So I mentioned the Tiger Force one. We're gonna stack and review them and compare all the Rams in the Night Pursuit cycle just for a quick second here. But if I could ask, if you want to hit that like button and subscribe, get the notifications, leave comments, do so. It's completely free and it's much appreciated on this channel's drive to get past 500 lately. 500 subs, sorry. Anyways, yeah, let's have a look at the other Rams and see what made this one different. So we start off with the very first Ram, which was Breaker and his Ram. And Breaker will tell you right off the bat what one difference was, and that was that he didn't come with a lick of guns, wherein Shockwave comes with a host of guns. In fact, so many guns that I forgot to put two of them in this video. The double barrel carbine that you get with Big Ben and Beachhead, and the saw, which you get with Stalker, also with this set. And then now we have Duke showing up, who can say another thing that was missing on here. Oh, geez, I didn't come with a helmet. Geez, Breaker came with a helmet. He didn't come with a gun, but I came with a gun, right? And then, of course, I'll just kick in my little one in the back with my bomb strike, who doesn't even bother with the Gatling gun at all, or the sidecar. Just says, I'm out of this one, boys. This is the last you're seeing me today. So that brief custom cameo aside, let's talk about the big difference, which is that this gun comes with a drum of ammo now. Unlike the other Rams, where if you took it off, you didn't have a drum of ammo, this one includes it. There you have the box, how it's presented, and there's the guns that are missing, the saw and the carbine. I didn't put them in this video, but yes, you get a drum of ammo with this. And we still have a lot of similarities from the first Shockwave that we got in the line, in that you can go akimbo if you want. He just doesn't get matching pistols. He gets his Mac 10 design, which is very much what I remember the 80s designed having, and then his 9mm, which is all mounted on the right hip. Make note, there's a point there, but you can go akimbo with them if you want. But right now, what I want is to talk about that file card. Here we go. We're getting into the character Jason A. Faria. Primary specialty is special weapons and tactics, right? SWAT. Secondary is choir. He's quite the singer, and he's from Dearborn, Michigan. He's a corporal, apparently. I found out E4 equals corporal in the U.S. ranks. That's interesting. It's just not something that's come up before, and I've always just noted that the American ranks and the Canadian ranks are very different. Shockwave is youngest member of the Detroit Police Department's SWAT team and the holder of 2 citations for bravery when he signed up for and was accepted by the G.I. Joe team. When asked why he left a promise he'd career to work longer hours for less money, kicking down doors on a better armed adversaries, Shockwave replied, "Do you really think I do this for the money?" An expert in executing successful assault tactics, Shockwave is now a member of Night Force Unit as commander of their post-daylight search and destroy missions. Everybody on a SWAT team has a specific job, like in a choir. Choirs have tenors, baritones, altos, etc. SWAT teams have sharpshooters, climbers, and inside men. Shockwave is the Night Force door kicker. He's the first inside and the first to find out how bad it really is. He's also a half-decent tenor when his voice is in shape. Alright, so that file card goes to confirm some things that I always thought about him. He was a breacher, he's the door kicker. That's why the first iteration had a blast shield to protect him from that on wave. The guns akimbo and a blast shield didn't make sense, you know. Cool as 2 matching pistols or auto pistols were, they didn't make sense with a shield. And that groove was on the wrong side of the shield for it to be used as a fire support. This iteration comes with what I am thinking is the shape charge, the door charge for breaching that door, stowed inside the backpack, and you'll see that with the other kit. So I considered this file card very informative in how it changed Shockwave, just how the kit now is more reflective in this Night Force 127 variant of Shockwave over what it was before. I see this entire kit being a course correction from the ammo drum from the Gatling gun, which we saw with heavy-duty roadblock, to almost too many weapons to protect himself, like we saw with the absence of one with breaker, to the helmet and steel core potential that should have been there with the Duke set. We have a very strong turnout. So lots of headdress, by the way. You've got your hat for Shockwave, and you've got your steel core helmet, as you'll see in the photos. But overall, the Ram's a great bike. We've covered the head of the helmet. No, we haven't talked about the helmet yet. We will talk about the helmet after, but let's talk about that shape charge. So inside the backpack noted here, you'll see this little groove. It kept falling out of mine until I took notice of it. And between the robot and the helmet in the upper left here, if you have a look, you can see that there is a little pouch. And at first I thought, is that his camelback? Did they make him a camelback that can detach? But no, it's a little shape charge. Going up the figure, I love the camouflage that we have on this, the grays that really work with the bike and the kit. But that backpack confounded me, just how it worked. And then when I noticed, you can see I've put that charge back in there. And I wanted to draw your attention to it in case yours keeps falling out and you wonder, what the hell is that even for? It's to stick next to a door and breach with. But yeah, we'll just have a look at what else did he come with. He came with that steel core helmet with the red visor. So red works its way into the colors here and there, but it's not as prominent as I thought it would be. And again, I only included the one gun, his little MAC-10 sitting on the back there with its silencer. Totally forgot to bring the other weapons. And again, I would just attribute that to there's almost too much going on with this figure. He does come with that Firefly drone from the Cobra Island set, like I said. He's got a leg. He's got 2 knives, one on the breast and one on the leg. These, if you see in the photos, he'll hold them up at one point. Those are meant to join together. Those are wire cutters. Again, great kit for a breacher to have, the ability to cut through wire cleanly, even wire fencing to get through fencing, right? So that's what those 2 knives are for. They're meant to work together like scissors. There you can see he's got a shape charge. He's bent over ready to do it, showing that he does have fine articulation. But again, that upper chest is a little hindered because of the second layer. So we've got him here. He puts that shape charge, pulls it out, says, you know what, I want to blow this hinge and then get rid of that Zeppelin in the sky. So puts it on the wall, toiletry, and it, You know, he's waiting for it to blow, but then he forgets he parked his bike too close, right? So another course correction was that they gave us the fact that he's a right-handed shooter, which I've made that point about his shield on the other one being guns akimbo with a right-handed shooter, but the shield was designed with the wrong hand in mind. So I did that course correction with this second first edition or first rendering of Shockwave that I did, and I called it a custom character really, but I'm just waiting for the right dog because I have the right character in this. And no, I'm not going to make him into Shock Blast. Shock Blast was actually just Jason Faria, no matter what. That was a legal dispute. No, I'm thinking about this guy, Wide Scope, who JLS Comics turned me on to. Otherwise, I would have never known about Wide Scope. Wide Scope is a reference to his potential, and I learned that by watching JLS's videos. So thank you, JLS Comics, and thank you 3D Printed Joes, or 3D Joes, and yojo.com for some of the images I've pulled up here today. But most of these are my own, like I said. But yeah, Wide Scope. So you can see there's potential for an entire SWAT team within Joe, and of course adding Steel Core Troopers to that. Buying multiples of this set really lends to the idea that Night Force is a little bit more than just a surveillance and tagging espionage operation. They've got a little bit of oomph. Like I said, the figure itself, I'm a big fan of the paint, of the way that the kit, the offset greenish brown to that, and the way this figure works with this bike is really cool. So overall, I would recommend it. I think it's a fair price on Hasbro Pulse at where it's at. You get a lot with it. I give this thing a strong play grade. It's a solid 5 play grade and a solid 5 tack grade. Whether or not it's the most realistic reflection of a SWAT officer doesn't matter. The point is they compensated for the first effective Shockwave, and they compensated for the first few Rams with the Night Pursuit cycle coming with this whole set comes with everything it needs. Shit, man, this guy even comes with his own case of mascara. Those darkened eyes sold it for me. But, you know, having that cool hat come back again, this time the matching gray, it looks awesome with or without the hat on, forward or backward. Having kit like these cross knives for cutting fence and wire, or breach charges for charging the door, speaks more to his job as a SWAT officer than a shield and a baton did in the first iteration. So guys, that tack grade 5 and the je ne sais quoi going hard 5 with the way they painted that bike. And that's it, guys. That's how this one's gonna go. I recommend this kit. I like this kit. Thanks for coming, and we'll see you next time.